call ye upon him while he is near. That word seek, and we see it again in Jeremiah 29:13. And ye shall seek me and find me. Let's go back and read that again. Ye shall seek me and. So I'm not hiding. You just got to look, right? Seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. How many times have you asked somebody, hey, where's the milk at? You open up the refrigerator, where's the milk at? Sometimes the milk be right in your face, but you're looking all over everywhere. That's where the culture has us today. It has us distracted of something that's right there in front of us. But if you keep on searching, well, I know, what does that mean? Well, I know the milk is in here somewhere. And you might say, well, maybe we don't have any milk. Maybe we ran out and maybe they're mistaken. Well, I'm letting you know right now, you need to keep searching. And what usually happens, well, I don't, and people just give up. And the person that told you where the milk was or whatever item that is, they walk right over to the fridge. Oh, here's the milk right here. Oh, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Right? So, you just got to know where to look. And what God is saying is, I'm not going to give you an excuse. You're looking over here, looking over there. I'm going to put your blinders on and show you the exact verse. And now it's your responsibility. I'm going to show you the exact passage. And now it's your responsibility to search and to find me. And you've got to do it not half-heartedly, but you've got to do it with all your heart, right? So too many times, and this is exactly why the world keeps on seeping into the church. We're searching into the ends of the earth for what they are talking about, for what the Weather Channel, what a talk show, what Netflix, what Disney, what Hulu is talking about. We turn on the news. We listen to what mama says or what daddy says. We listen to family and friends, right? And as a side note, the rule should be if mom or dad or whoever it might be, if it's not backed up by the word, then we really don't have any business listening to it. Now, obviously, you don't want to be like, hey, don't put your hand on that oven. Does the Bible say that? That's foolishness. That's silly, right? There's common knowledge and there's common wisdom. But then there are other things that God teaches us that because of tradition, because it's the way we used to do it, people might be misled. And so that's why you search the scriptures. That's why you look in the Bible, you read the Bible to understand, okay, mom and dad might have been helpful. Granny, grandpa, auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, daughter, friends, Joe Schmo might have been trying to be helpful, but that's not what the word says. Okay. We don't need to be listening to it. So that's kind of the end of the story. Okay. So there has to be a hierarchy of what we listen to. And I think we know academically, but Jesus has to be at the top of that hierarchy, right? Does that make sense? So a lot of times we do this thing where, you have a top spot. And that top spot is usually going to be filled with culture or Jesus, right? Now, you might put yourself there, but as humans, we don't really know anything. So once again, we're getting our knowledge from different places. So eventually, that knowledge, that top spot is going to be filled by culture. That's going to be filled by what the experts know and what people know. And the issue with that is it's the knowledge of men. So men are now dictating how you live your life, what God will accept, what's allowed. That's the problem, right? It might not be that you're doing anything wrong, but eventually you're going to come to a fork in the road. Well, what do I do? And you're going to lean to your own understanding, which contradicts the Bible. Okay. So there has to be a hierarchy, right? There's a saying, a broken clock is right twice a day. And all that really means is that somebody can be right every so often. So at the bottom of the hierarchy, we talked about family, friends, Joe Schmo. At the bottom of the hierarchy needs to be Joe Schmo. He might be right a couple of times. He might tell you some stuff, but at the bottom of that hierarchy needs to be Joe Schmo in the street. He really doesn't know anything. He's just talking. But every now and then you might say, oh, he might actually know something. He might actually be talking about something. Then you might have an acquaintance. Then you might have family or friends, and you can kind of use that interchangeably for whatever you want, because sometimes you don't really have family, but you do have friends, right? But then you have a parental figure, whether it be your mom or dad or grandmother or something like that. You have that figure in your life. And even when they pass away, a lot of times people are using that parental figure to guide their life because that's how they've been trained. And all of that is fine. That's well and good. But there has to be an ultimate authority in your life. Where are you getting your ultimate knowledge on what to do? Mom and dad didn't teach you everything. So where are you getting the knowledge on everything else? I just got to figure it out. Where are you getting the knowledge on spiritual things? We get ourselves into a lot of different stuff that doesn't have to do with God. Where are you getting that knowledge from? And not only where are you getting that knowledge from, but how are you verifying that that's right? Who's there to tell you? The problem with culture and these different religions is that they have nobody to verify it but men. They have nobody to verify what they're talking. The men that started are dead. They're dead. They're not here anymore. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the difference between reading the Bible and connecting with God. I hesitate to say being a Christian, because a lot of people confess to be Christians and then they're out here doing anything and everything. And I'm not trying to shame people, and I'm not trying to judge people, because we all fall short of the glory of God, as the Bible talks about. A righteous man is going to fall down, 7 or 8 times? He's going to fall down 7 times, get up the 8th, but he's going to fall down. And then I fell down. I only made 1 mistake. Well, I only made 2 mistakes. 7 times he's going to fall down. 7 times. He's going to, basically he's going to, and I know there are a lot of people out there that have fallen down multiple times. Okay. So you have people that are going to fall down. At this point in time, you have to understand, and you don't have to be rude to people, but you have to understand these people, you need a rock. Okay. You need something that's going to stabilize you. A lot of times, and this is what the enemy does. He comes in, as Bob talks, he comes in like a flood, but God has to raise up a standard. And once again, the problem is we go back to, we might read the Quran. I'm not trying to attack anybody. We might read the spiritual works of Donnie Johnson, whoever that is. I'm just making up a name. And then when we need a little bit more help, we can't ask Donnie because Donnie passed away in 1500. All right. We might be able to ask the descendants or the messengers or the disciples of Donnie, but we really don't have anybody that can ultimately verify it. That's what's so great about God, is the Bible talks about him being here from the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega, the Ancient of Days. So God is able to see from start to finish. Oh, I was here when that started. I saw how that went, what was going on during that whole time, and I saw the end of it. I was here from the start, and I'm going to be here at the end. And the thing about what we see in the world is the concepts, as the Bible talks about it. There's nothing new under the sun. So the concepts are going to stay the same. The environment, the specifics of the situation are going to change, but the concept of it is not going to change. So you need a mentor. You need somebody that's able to look when you read the word and say, I still don't understand that. And you might go to pastor or first lady or somebody in the church that might not be pastor, but they might be a helper. They might be one of the shepherds in the church. They might be a mother or an elder in the church. And they might say, well, this is my understanding of it. And you still might not understand. You might pray and you might fast over it, and you still might not understand. But while you're praying and you're fasting, what you're supposed to be doing is saying, God, talking to God directly. What is it? How do I understand this? What do you want me to do? And as you get